Welcome to EduTips, a side project of the Cult of Pedagogy podcast where I share one quick idea to make your teaching better. This is Jennifer Gonzalez and I am your host. This EduTip is sponsored by Stash 101. Stash 101 is a simulated online classroom economy and personal finance platform that's easy to set up, customizable to educators' needs, and completely free. Students learn real-world skills and earn real-world rewards while helping educators manage classroom tasks effectively and efficiently. Not only does Stash 101 build student engagement and foster a positive classroom culture, it teaches essential personal finance skills through experiential learning. Over 20,000 K-12 educators are already using Stash 101. Elementary and middle schools use the simulated online classroom economy as a behavior management solution. High schools use it in economics, business, entrepreneurship, math, life skills, and career and technical education courses to create highly engaging and hands-on learning experiences. Learn more and create your free account at stash101.com. Today's EduTip is model everything. Here's a situation I found myself in all the time as a teacher. I would plan some kind of task for students, say it was something pretty standard like working in pairs to complete a graphic organizer from some text we were reading. And we'd get started, and I would walk around the room, and some students would be doing it the way I had pictured it in my mind. The size and neatness of their writing, the amount of writing they put into the organizer, even how they were working, with both partners contributing their thoughts, coming to a consensus, and then writing the stuff down. But other pairs, not so much. Some were writing huge letters in the organizer, so it took almost nothing to fill each cell. Some were writing long, complete sentences that overflowed each cell. Some seemed to be fighting over the organizer, snatching it back and forth to write different things, and others just kind of sat there saying they didn't get it. Had I just modeled the process, things would have gone way better. Before ever putting one of those organizers in students' hands, I should have put an example up on the projector and showed students how to fill it out. I could have presented another one already filled out for another text. I could have even pulled a volunteer up from the class to sit beside me and demonstrate how we would talk to each other while working on the organizer, checking to make sure we came to some kind of agreement before we wrote anything down. There are so many things we ask our students to do in school that they would do so much better if we just modeled it for them. While modeling is already probably a strategy you're using to teach some concepts, you probably could be using it a whole lot more and getting more from your students as a result. Here are just a few ideas for things that would probably go much more smoothly with a little bit of modeling. The first is classroom procedures. Everything from walking to and from the pencil sharpener to charging a laptop can be demonstrated physically. And ideally, it should be done with an almost comical level of detail. If you've ever found yourself frustrated because the kids in your class should know how to do this, chances are a demonstration is in order. The same goes for any lesson that involves using equipment or other hands-on materials. Starting with a quick physical demonstration, not just a verbal explanation, before releasing students to get started can save you so much hassle later. Another idea is with group dynamics. Just because students know how to talk and socialize doesn't mean they have well-developed collaboration skills. Anytime you're going to put students in groups or pairs, model predictable scenarios that might happen. One person not participating enough, for example, and demonstrate how students can handle it effectively. Do a little skit even. It will go a long way. Another place you could be doing modeling is with reading. Students who struggle with reading don't realize all the thinking that goes on in the mind of a proficient reader. So occasionally reading through a text out loud and stopping to think aloud, to ask questions, notice misunderstandings, all these things going on in your head while you read, and even going back and rereading stuff. Modeling this can pull back the curtain on this process and help other readers learn how to do it themselves. Another way this works is through writing. Modeling works for writing in so many ways. So one obvious one is showing students examples of finished work. If they don't have any idea of what a finished product looks like in a particular genre, their efforts to get it right will be mostly based on guesses. Another way that modeling works is by modeling the writing process for students. Just like with reading, students who are not confident writers tend to not understand how messy the writing process really is. So if you want them to write well, write with your students and show them how you go from draft to finished product. Finally, you can do modeling with basically any assignment at all. Whether it's a worksheet, a slideshow, an essay, even a quiz that you want students to produce or perform on in some way. You will get much more consistent work from students if you show them models of completed tasks. Good ones to show them what to do, and other examples that demonstrate common pitfalls so they know what to avoid. That's your tip for this time. You can find written versions of these tips at cultofpedagogy.com/edutips. Now go forth, make thoughtful choices, and teach.